And welcome to our community. Susie Thomas here with you this morning, and we are finishing up our week of the on-air college fair. Visiting today with Marisa Roan, who is the Executive Director of Advancement, Marketing, and the Stark State College Foundation. That's a mouthful. Good morning, Marisa.
Good morning, Susie. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And let's start with your title, Advancement, Marketing, and the Stark State College Foundation. What is the foundation?
So the foundation is there to really bridge the gap for students between what they hope to achieve at Stark State and how they hope to afford it. So we're here to be that connecting point so that scholarships are available, and certainly also to help fund equipment and different capital needs at the college as well.
Oh, that's already perked up many ears. What kinds of scholarships are available to students?
You know, I have been amazed at the scholarships that we do have available. If you go to our website at starkstate.edu, you will find a plethora of them, from the President's Scholarship to scholarships that focus on specific program areas. There's one for health-related majors that live in a certain area of the community. There's a scholarship for single mothers. There's all sorts of scholarships out there that fit the different, whether you're going full-time or part-time, certainly GPA requirements. But really, I believe that if you have a need, you will find a scholarship that fits your background and what you're going for at Stark State.
That's so wonderful. And are we talking about renewable and in the thousands of dollars worth?
Some of them, yes. I mean, each scholarship is set up by the funder to meet the criteria that they believe meets their vision for what they hope to help a student achieve at the college. So when you combine those opportunities with our affordable tuition already, and then many of our students are Pell eligible and receive other financial aid, it really is a great way to access a quality education.
Do you see students graduating debt-free?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
That's amazing. All right. Well, I'm supposing that the College Foundation then goes a lot with the beginning of your title, where you're Director of Advancement as well. So you're working with folks who are donors?
Yes. We have a terrific foundation board that helps us cultivate and build relationships with donors in the community to really help fund these projects and fund the scholarships that are so needed by our students. So a great group of volunteers that really help lead the foundation and the giving that goes along with it.
Marisa, you've only been there how long?
Actually, I just hit a year in January 5th.
Well, congratulations. And
Thank you.
It does seem that you've probably gotten to jump in head first and learn an awful lot in a very short amount of time. What kinds of things do you hope to achieve with the donors? Do you have activities you do with them? What kinds of advancement activities do you provide?
One of the things that I'm really looking forward to being a part of this year, I was able to go to and attend the event last year, but our Scholars and Benefactors Luncheon that we hold in April is really a great opportunity for donors to connect with the students that they're supporting. So all of the students who receive scholarships are invited, and all of the individuals who made those scholarships possible are invited. They're seated together, and it's just a wonderful program where scholarships are awarded, and it gives the student an opportunity to, in person, thank the person that is making their education possible. It was such a great feel-good event with some fabulous stories last year, and I'm really looking forward to being a part of that inspirational storytelling this year.
I can't imagine how meaningful that is, and for the donor as well, to get to meet the person who is benefiting from their philanthropy. Often these scholarships are in someone's name who means a lot to the donor, a family member that's gone before. And I just can't even imagine how emotional that time is. Can you describe that a bit?
So I was at a table last year with, I believe, 3 donors and then the scholarship recipients. And the conversations and the encouragement that was being given from the donor to the student was just one aspect. But then to watch the pride and joy when that student goes up to receive their award from not only their family member who's in attendance with them, but the actual donor of the scholarship is just very inspirational and very moving. The gift of education is something that I think we all value, and to watch that being given to a student firsthand is transformational.
Do you recall any of the specific stories? Because I know what you mean.
Yes. Well, we did actually two come to mind, and I can just touch on them briefly. But, one gentleman that gave a testimonial actually had experienced a cancer scare in the middle of his education the year prior, and was recovering from that and trying to get back into school. And with the encouragement of both his the individuals that were running his program, the oil and gas program, as well as the scholarship donor, he just really felt like it was his time to succeed, and he was going to be able to finish this degree now, having overcome the health scare and getting back into the education and on the right track.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then the other story that really speaks to some of the unique opportunities that students will find at Stark State is a young lady by the name of Rachel, who was one of 9 children, first in her family to go to college, just very poised and articulate, and talked about the fact that with a 2-year degree at Stark State, she was going to receive admission to Neomed's PharmD school. So here is an associate degreed individual that, thanks to the scholarship that she had received, was finishing her degree as the first one in her family, and then going on to get her degree at Neomed, in pharmacy, a doctorate in pharmacy, right from the associate's degree. So,
oh my goodness,
very moving, and she's now helping support one of her siblings go back to college.
Oh
so
my gosh.
Just, it shows that ripple effect, how when one person is impacted, it can impact others, and she's passing that on to a sibling now.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, good stories. You have about 1 million programs. Let's talk about some of them. Your academic programs, which, as you mentioned before we went on the air, are always changing. You're always kind of checking, keeping your finger on the pulse of what is the need now. And as some die out, others are born. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right. Well, we are blessed with some fantastic advisory committees for the different areas that are made up of industry professionals who really help us keep a pulse on what's going on in the community and in the business world, as well as what some requirements for the degrees should be as we try to prepare students for the world of work. And each of those committees really helps us decide, out of the more than 230 programs that we offer, how should we be remaining flexible? How should we be adding, what is no longer relevant? Those types of things that really drive a lot of the decisions around programming. We have a couple of new and exciting programs coming up. For example, a training and development program. A lot of professionals out there either currently working in a field or looking to get into a specific field could really benefit from that ability to train and develop others. So we'll be offering both a certificate and an associate degree in that area. It's really a great add-on. I'm sure you, as well as Susie, have had to do a lot of training in your career. And having that ability to really know what's the right way to go about putting together a training presentation and delivering it to the right audience is really, it takes time to develop. And having the curriculum to do that will help a lot of professionals in our community. We have an ophthalmology assisting degree that's starting as well, which is, pretty exciting for our health programs. And then we have those tried and true programs that are constantly, needing to change with the times but always stay relevant. Nursing, occupational therapy, physical therapy, business degrees, engineering, math, science, English, composition, all of those things that you would find at a college. We have the associate or certificate opportunities there as well.
Listening to you talk, I'm hearing about one profession after another, and I think that goes to explain the change in your name. Back in the day, it was Stark Technical College, went on to Stark State College of Technology, and now is Stark State College. And I think what you're describing is because there's so much more professional development, and I believe you've said academic rigor that people would be surprised to find on a 2-year campus. Can you address that?
Yes. I think that the variety that you can find at Stark State College is very unique. We definitely have evolved from the names that you referenced. We still have that applied technology focus in many of our degrees, but you'll also be able to come to Stark State and start a 2-year associate degree that will take you into a 4-year degree in a non-applied technology area. For example, articulating to a number of the universities in the area. We have agreements with Malone, Walsh, the University of Akron, Kent State University, in any number of degrees that range from accounting to communications to engineering. So we really have broadened our spectrum as we've decided what the needs are in the community and how we fit that niche, and how we can help make college affordable and accessible for students who maybe want to pursue that four-year degree, but want to start at a community college where they can get their 2 years in at an affordable rate and then transfer on to where they want to pursue their ultimate bachelor's and eventually maybe even a master's degree.
You encourage that as well, right?
Absolutely. Each student has their own pathway, their own goal in mind, and finding a way to meet that need at the community college to help get them ready for a career. Some students are coming just to get that degree and get onto a rewarding career, and others want to take that further and get a bachelor's. Currently, our 2014 class, for example, 92% of the graduates are either pursuing further education or have a job. So
that's great.
We consider both successful. I mean, if you're moving on to further your degree from what you started at Stark State, that's success, absolutely. And if you've been able to land a rewarding career because of the 2-year degree or a certificate or whatever the case may be, that's absolutely a success for somebody as well.
Part of those articulation agreements, I believe there are some four-year colleges and universities who actually teach their courses on your campus. Is that right?
Yes, we do have some of those agreements. I believe our social work program with Youngstown State University is that way. We have some agreements with Franklin University. So there's plenty of opportunities to even go beyond those 2 years while remaining on campus at Stark State.
Well, keeping with the times, just the fact of being in this area, shale capital of the world, your oil and gas program is probably very popular. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, our oil and gas program is definitely upheld as one of the best in the area. We definitely, I don't know if you've seen our well site training center. If anyone has had the opportunity to travel to downtown Canton and see that facility, there's a simulator, a well simulator right outside. There's all sorts of state-of-the-art equipment that they can get that field experience without having to be out on the field necessarily. So it's a great program. The curriculum is extremely strong and vetted by industry experts, again, supported by a fantastic advisory committee. And that facility was made possible by both the state and the Timken Family Foundation. So we're very blessed with great supporters, both on the business side and on the funding side, that make that possible. It's just, growing and changing as the needs grow and change in that area.
I'm very curious as far as the age of your student, because in the times we live in, a lot of folks are transforming themselves, reinventing themselves. They might have a career in something, retire, and start up a career in something brand new, but come to Stark State first to get whatever they need to be able to do that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Our average age student is actually 29 years old. But as you pointed out, the age really runs the gamut. We just had commencement on Saturday, and there was a story in the repository of two of our graduates who were 71 years old.
That's amazing.
Going back and succeeding and trying to find their new career or their new move. So it runs the spectrum, and then we have a large College Credit Plus student demographic, which is high schoolers who are gaining those college credits while in school. So we really do have a wide variety. But on average, 29-year-old female is our average student. Mm-hmm. So, but there's something for everyone at Stark State, whether you just want to get that certificate, a one-year certificate or a career enhancement certificate to just enable you to do more with what you're currently doing, or you want to get that associate's degree to start a new career or take to a four-year degree. We really have opportunities for everyone.
I'm just not ready to leave the people in their 70s getting their degree yet. Can you take us through how cool that was, and how do they interact with the other students then?
I have been amazed since I've been at the college to see the interaction of students of all ages. You walk through the halls and you see groups of students studying, working on projects that really run that age range, and working together and laughing and having a good time. I've heard student testimonials where, I didn't want to go back. I thought I was going to be the oldest person there. I just wasn't going to be comfortable. And I walked into that classroom and immediately felt welcomed by both the professor and the students. I think that when you come to Stark State, it feels like home. There's small class sizes, professors who've been in the world of work, so they understand where maybe you've come from and where you'd like to go. It just is a welcoming environment. And, watching those two, because I knew they had been called out in the paper, so I knew who they were, and I was looking for them. Watching those two particular individuals walk at commencement and graduate and the pride on their face. I mean, who doesn't want to accomplish that if they haven't in their lifetime? And what better time than the present, right? So it was fantastic to watch their families supporting them. And I think that's the case whether you're 18 or 71. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's an accomplishment to get your degree.
We're speaking with Marie Cerrone. She's the Executive Director of Advancement, Marketing, and the Stark State College Foundation. We've got to take a break here. We'll be back. You're listening to Our Community.